satisfying for me.
Okay.
So I didn't want to do it. But now Marcus is old school, so he understands exactly where I want to go musically. So it works out perfectly.
Okay, so I get it. You pretty much were like, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it the right way, in the way that I want it to sound for, my
For
fans to
me,
love it.
for my exactly,
Okay,
exactly,
that makes sense.
exactly.
No, what about touring? I know that you just said that you have like 8 songs.
Yes.
What about a tour coming up? I know that now we're able to see people in concert, and you have some concert dates actually coming up, don't you?
I have some concert dates coming up that I have to make up from last year or year before last that I could not do. So yes, there'll probably be a tour coming up. I would love to tour because I love performing live.
Yeah.
That's really where I love being on the road. I love, being with my band and my singers and my manager, and I fly out some of my friends and stuff. And I love being on the road. I love singing for my fans.
Yes, you're amazing, and that's a skill that not everyone has. Like, that is very difficult for a lot of people. A lot of people like to tour, but they don't do the best live performing. But you absolutely do. Now, if you did go on tour, would you want to be solo? What are some other acts that you would like to see with you?
I would love to do a female tour. Like I would love
Oh,
for Shaka and I to go out, for
yeah.
Anita and I to go out. Angela
Uh,
Winbush. I'd like for all us girls to get together. Jill Scott. I would love for us to all get together and just do a massive tour. Gladys Knight, let her be the queen, and
oh,
us under her and everything. I would love that.
that has.
It's hard to do though, but I would love to do that.
Why is it so hard to do?
Because I think managers get involved, handlers get involved, and it could be expensive. We would probably have to cut our money, and
Okay.
I don't have any problem with that. But I just think it would say a lot
Yeah.
about us if we all got together and just went out on tour and just rocked.
And what about some new girls? Are there any of the new girls you would like to see on tour with you as well?
Jasmine Sullivan,
Yes,
and I
yes.
love
I'm
her.
from the Philadelphia area, so I am so for that.
I have a cousins. I have a lot of cousins that live in the Philadelphia area,
Okay.
and I love her. I love her.
She's
Yeah.
so talented.
Yes.
When I was
Yes.
just watching her perform at the awards, the BT Award, and I was just like, what a star! It's her playing those instruments too while
Yes.
she's singing. I'm like,
Yes.
uh,
There's nothing like it. There's nothing
nothing.
like live music, live instruments, singing live and rocking.
Got it. So do you think that also, like, the pandemic and things becoming more back to normal, that also kind of maybe made you want to get back out there and make music again? Is it something? How was the pandemic for you as far as not being able to tour, and now you kind of have to make up for some of those dates? How did it impact your life, and more so, how did it impact your career?
It didn't impact my career.
Okay, good.
It didn't really impact my life except I was home and used to traveling. But I got a chance to do a lot of things around my house that I didn't have time to do before. So, and I was just talking to a friend of mine saying, I'm so glad I did spend this time at home because I painted my house.
Okay,
I did a lot of stuff that I wanted to do. So I didn't, but initially I was fearful for my son and I. But once I realized, we can handle this and God got you, I was okay. But it didn't impact me in a negative way, just in a fearful way, but not in a negative way of career or financially.
got it, got it. Now, your new single, the one song, "Do the Right Thing." Can you kind
Let's
of tell
do the
us?
right thing. Yes.
Yes. What is the right thing, and kind of what went into your idea when you were making that song? Because it's so uplifting. It's uplifting and makes you feel good, especially with so much we're going through right now.
And that's what I want. I'm so glad you said that because that's what I want. I feel like we have to uplift each other. I think that our community, Black people, have to uplift each other. Stop looking for outside entities to uplift us. We have to uplift each other, and that's what I wanted.
Yes.
I really wanted that song to convey that.
So, what would you say is the right thing to do in many of these situations that we're seeing? We just saw Derek Chauvin, he got 25 years. We're still seeing a lot of police brutality, and we're also still seeing a lot of crime in our own communities. Like I said, I'm from the Philadelphia area, and we're going through
Yes.
a very difficult time. So what would you say is the right thing to do in a lot of these situations?
Well, the number one thing I think we should do is stop our black on black crime.
Okay.
Stop brutalizing our own people. That's the
Mhm.
number one thing we need to stop. And
Okay.
then second, all these people that want to brutalize us, well, go brutalize the KKK. Go
Mm.
brutalize the other people that are coming into our communities and
Mhm.
calling us monkeys. I just saw something on the internet where this man was calling his family a monkey and this and that. Go
Jeez.
brutalize him.
Right.
Don't brutalize us. Don't take it out on us. Stop the black on black crime.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, are you satisfied so far with the Biden Harris administration? I know that you're very vocal when it comes to politics. So far, based on what they've seen these last few months, are you
Well,
pretty happy with it so far, or what more would you like to see?
I'm happy with the sensitivity of
Mm-hmm.
the office.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that I think Biden is a sensitive president, but I want him to stop them trying to take our voting rights away. That's something that I believe he can do, he and Madam Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to put money back in our schools, in the
Yeah.
school system, supply our children with computers and things that work, build centers where our children can go and play and have them go in our community and fix our community up. That's what I want him to do. And if I was to sit down with him and Madam Vice President, that's what I would tell them.
And why is it so important for you? Of course, you're a legend because of your music, but why is it also so important for you to be an advocate as well? And sometimes, is that difficult for you? What makes you want to speak out as much as you do?
I'm a black woman growing up in America. My mother was a black woman. I came from a black family. That's all I know. I love my people. I love being black. So I don't like when none of us are being brutalized or not being taken care of. And I feel like, just like I say in my song, we all win in the end. If we take care
Mhm.
of each other, we'll all win in the end. And that's what I believe.
Now, the other day, it's so funny that I was interviewing you this week because my nephew was watching The Wiz for the first time. My nephew's 8 years old, and my mom comes in like, listen, this is Stephanie Mills, because she's a huge fan. And how does that feel that all of these years later, that The Wiz plays such a significant part in cultural representation for families everywhere, for Black families
I
specifically?
it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be remembered as a character that's so positive and that affected the community, the black community. The black community back in the day in '70s really, really embraced the Wiz and made it possible for
Yeah.
us to stay on Broadway for 5 years.
Yes.
So, it's just wonderful. I love being known as the first Black Dorothy.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they remembered those wonderful songs. I
All
love
of it.
I love all of that, and I love the brilliance of George Faison, the choreographer, and
Mhm.
Charlie Smalls, who wrote the music. All the people that were involved, Ken Harper, who had the intuition to put that play and fight for it, because he did have to fight for us to be on Broadway. So yes,
And a few years ago, did you go back and play Annie M?
yes,
Okay, now
I did.
how
I
was
that was
that? How
that
was
was
that?
in that was in 2015, and
Okay.
that was the 40th anniversary of the Wiz.
How
And
was how
I,
was it to switch roles like that?
oh my God, it was strange because every time on the set when they say Dorothy, I'd look, So, but it was wonderful to pass that torch on because I
Uh-huh.
was too old to play Dorothy, but I so wanted to be a part of it. So I was so glad when they asked me to come in and play Dorothy. I mean, and play Aunt Em. I loved it. I loved it.
And how was it working with, of course, Michael Jackson, who was also your dear friend? How has life been without him, and kind of what was that experience? I remember a few years back, you didn't like what Sam Smith had to say about Michael Jackson.
No,
What was your friendship with him like?
my friendship with Michael was very loving, private. He was a wonderful, wonderful person. I never heard Michael say a bad thing about anyone, talk negative about anyone. That's why I don't allow anyone to say anything negative about him. I'll ride for him all day long because he's not here to defend himself, and I knew him. So I don't like when people talk about people when they're gone or when they're dead or when they see them and they're in a situation that's not popular. People like to kick you when you're down, and I don't like that.
Now, what happened with your verses? Like, all of us are confused. You know, we heard you say that Versus didn't want Stephanie Mills and Shaka Khan, and then Swiss and them were like, no, we never said that. Like, that's not what's happening. So what exactly is the status of this Versus with you?
Oh, we will not be doing verses. Shaka and I will not be doing verses. No, we're not an afterthought. You know, we was presented to them early, and we were in negotiation with them, and then in the 11th hour they decided to go in another direction, and that's fine. But we will not be doing no verses. No.
And do you have any idea who made that decision or why that decision was made, or if it was maybe some type of miscommunication? Do you have any insight as to why this was such a messy situation? Because people are like, why wouldn't you want two legends to do verses? You know, it doesn't really make sense.
From what I'm told, it was Timberland's manager who said they were not interested. From what I was told, it was Timberland's manager.
And is there any room or space for reconciliation if there's an
apology?
No.
No.
I don't blame you. I respect it. Listen, I respect it. Now, recently, Trick Daddy, he got a lot of heat. Your name just gets thrown into things sometimes.
Thrown into things, and I'll be minding my own business.
Minding your own business. But he said something about he said like Beyonce, she's no Stephanie Mills when it comes to singing. He was trying to make a point that she's a great performer but not a singer. What do you have to say to that? What's kind of your opinion on that?
I think everybody has the right to their opinion, but I think Beyonce is a wonderful singer. I think she's a wonderful entertainer, and they always try to put us up against everybody, but Trick Daddy has the right to his opinion. But I'm a Beyonce fan, so and I get upset when people come for her. So people have the right to their opinion.
Absolutely. Oh man, no, and I think I want to say this was early 2000s. You recorded with DMX, correct?
Yes.
It's not really a combination that you would think of, but you know, with his passing recently, what's one of your memories that you have recording with DMX? What was it like to work with him, and how did that collaboration even come to be?
DMX called me on the phone. I had just had my son. And DMX said, Stephanie, I'm doing a remix. I'm doing a remix of your song, What You Gonna Do With My Lovin'. Will you come to Phoenix and record it? I was like, oh, man, I just had a baby, blah, blah. He said, oh, I'll make it as comfortable for you as possible. So I called my sister, and we went to Phoenix. And I was a fan. I love the rap guys. I love rap. I listen to rap. And he was just a wonderful, very respectful, sensitive man. We had the best time. He loves to drive fast, and we had the best time. He had a party at his house, and I stayed for a little while because I know when to leave the party. But he was a very, very nice, respectful man. I have nothing but mad love and respect for him.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And it just seems that everyone has kind of those same sentiments.
He was such a sensitive, loving guy. He really was.
And another close friendship and relationship you had was with Teddy. Yes. That relationship you two had was just beautiful.
Yes.
How has life been without him also here with you?
It's been very hard because I lost my best friend too during the pandemic. But it's been hard. I think about Teddy every day because Teddy and I used to talk all the time. Mm-hmm. And Teddy was truly my big brother. I miss him tremendously. I miss, because I was on tour with Gerald Levert. I miss him. I miss the camaraderie of people like that I know I'm not going to see again on the road.
So we've lost so many legends.
Yes.
Many.
Oh my God. Yes. Whitney. I miss her voice. I miss because there's no voice like Whitney Houston's, and
No.
I hate the way they passed. I hate that it was drug related, and I wish I could have been there or been a friend, but it's you just never know. You just never really know.
And you started your career very young. What was it like? Especially because I know a lot of people and entertainers that start young, their path is very difficult and they don't have these long careers like you have. How was it to start your career at such a young age? Exactly how old were you?
I was this D Nice. Hi, D Nice. He's on it. I could see him saying he loved some Stephanie
Aw.
Mills and Teddy. I love D Nice. I'm getting
Yeah,
ready
he's
to do
amazing.
something. I'm getting ready to do something with D Nice in
Yeah,
September in
I
Brooklyn.
heard.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I started very young in this business, but what I did was I took a break from it because I think that when you go and go and go and go, you'll crash and burn. You have to step away from it because it's just overwhelming. And it can be overwhelming when you're having hit records and you're winning awards and you're traveling and you're going to parties and all that. It can be overwhelming.
Now, we've been having a lot of movies that we get to see. For instance, Mary J. Blige, she just had
A
something. And
documentary.
then,
Oh, I loved it too.
yes, yes.
I watched it and I
It was
watched,
so, it was so good and so motivating.
yes,
Yes.
yes, it was.
Yeah. Would you
And
like something like that created? I feel like we need to see like a biopic, a documentary. And if so, who would you like to play you?
never.
Never. Why?
Never.
Why not?
I I just wouldn't want my life out there. I don't know. I admire people that do it. I just wouldn't. I've never thought about it, and I don't think I would want it. I don't think so.
Now, what would if someone did go ahead and create this? Would you be offended? How would you feel about that? Because I'm sure that this is something that I mean, you're a legend, so I know that this is something that somebody wants to create.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never really thought about it. Sometimes I think I want to do something, and then at times I don't. So they would have to just catch me on the day that I felt like I wanted to do it.
So
Okay,
they
today
gotta
I
get you
think
on a
I'm gonna.
good
Yeah,
day.
today I think I'm gonna do it. But they would have to catch me on that day.
Got it, got it. Now, were you impacted by that 2008 fire at Universal?
But say that again.
There was a fire at Universal. Were you impacted by any of that? Like, pretty much, Universal had a huge fire, and New York Times reported that some of your material was reportedly lost in that fire.
Really, I didn't know that. I
Okay.
didn't even know that. No, I didn't know
Okay.
that some of my material was lost in it. I didn't know that.
Did were
That's
you aware?
news.
Were you aware of the Universal fire?
No,
Okay.
I
Okay.
wasn't. Yes, something you're telling me. Wow, I didn't
Listen,
know that.
us journalists,
Y'all
we
dig
find
it up. Y'all
we'll
find it.
we'll dig
Y'all
into
find
anything.
it.
We'll dig into anything. Well, before we even scheduled this interview with you, we were really planning just to talk about your music, but then you recently made headlines because you were defending Felicia Rashad. She came out supporting Bill Cosby after he was released from jail. Can you kind of go into, what backed you? I know that Felicia Rashad is your friend. What kind of reactions have you received so far after backing your friend?
Felicia and I go way back. She was
Okay.
in the Wiz. She was in the
Yep.
chorus of the Wiz, and
Uh-huh.
and I know her family, Debbie, and I just felt that I wanted to support her and show her love. I don't really think that none of us knows what happened with Mr. Cosby because none of us was there. But I wanted to show Felicia love, and that's really all I wanted. I didn't pay attention to any of it afterwards.
So it was more so you showing Felicia support, not more so Bill Cosby, if that makes sense.
It was more me showing love to Felicia. But I love Bill Cosby too. I mean, I know him as the comedian he was. I know his family. I've been to his home for dinner. I know him. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I'm not a judge. I can't judge anybody. But so I show love. He's my brother. I show love, and I show love to Felicia.
Absolutely. Now, do you understand at all where some of the people from the Howard communities' feelings are coming as far as them requesting for Felicia Rashad to step down? Do you understand at all some of the mixed reactions that are being received because of this message?
I don't think she did anything wrong. I think she showed love. And if showing love gets you fired, then we have a really big problem in this country.
That kind of, it sounds like it's going back on a lot of the things you were saying earlier in the interview, just about as a community.
We have to show love because at the end of the day, we're all human. At the end of the day, we all make mistakes. So should everybody, I mean, they did, Matt Lauer is not in jail.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Charlie Rose is not in jail.
Mm-hmm.
They did some terrible things, sexual things to women. They don't even talk about that.
Yeah.
So why do they ridicule the black man all the time? Why does he have to pay a high penalty? You know, come on. If you're going to do that across the board. And that's all I was saying. If it's insensitive to show him love, then it's insensitive to keep his millions. That's how I feel.
Right, because that's what you said. You pretty much were like, listen, if you're going to fire her, then return all of the money. For instance, like how Spellman gave all the money back. So pretty much like keep that same energy as far as like what's
exactly.
Spellman did.
Right.
Absolutely. Got it. Supporting your friend. Now let's just finish off on kind of a lighter note. So we have something called Beyond the Surface, and it's kind of just like a way that people can get to know you, not really dealing with just, you know, you. It's more so dealing with you as a person. So I have some questions, and you can just answer them right away. They're fun, get to know you things. Just so when we look back at this, we can kind of be like, oh, well, we know this about Stephanie Mills. Okay.
Okay. All
right. Sounds good. So the biggest misconception of who you are?
That I'm sweet and nice. That I'm Dorothy. That I'm that little girl from Kansas. I'm not.
Okay. The last time that you cried?
The other day when a young black man was shot down. I cry a lot when that happens because it hurts my heart. It really, really hurts my heart.
What's your favorite and least favorite song to perform? This is a good thing. This is a good one. I want to know this.
Whoa. My favorite song to perform is probably Starlight, You and I. Well, I have a couple. Starlight, You and I, and Power of Love. And my least favorite is Pilot Error, which I don't do in my show.
Okay. Why not?
I don't like it.
You're like, I like it.
I don't like it.
All right, now your favorite movie of all time is
Best Man, Best Man Holiday. I love all the Best Man.
Those are so good. It's like whenever they come on, you gotta watch.
Oh, you gotta watch. And we watch. And I was with my niece one time over the Christmas. We watched that movie every day, all day. We knew all the lines and everything. Best Man.
I love that. The Christmas one makes me cry.
Oh, I know. And they're getting ready to do another one. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
I'm like, what is? I'm like, come on, because we've been waiting for it.
I know.
What's a lesson that took you the longest to learn?
How to deal with people in this industry that was dishonest and that would lie to you. Because I find that there are a lot of dishonest people, and there are a lot of people that will just tell you anything to make you think they're doing their job. So I had to learn how to navigate through that and not fire everybody, because I used to just get rid of people. Okay, but then I found out that everybody's basically the same. So you have to meet them where they are.
For sure. Now, what song or album would you pick as the soundtrack of your life?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Gladys Knight, the Claudine album.
Okay. All right.
The Claudine album. Yes.
Good one. If you could ask God one question and he would answer, what would you ask?
I would ask, why is there so much hatred in this world?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we so hated? Why?
And then my last one, what are 3 pieces of advice that you would give someone who would love to follow your career path? I saw a lot of questions in here and people were like, I want to be an entertainer. I want to be a singer. What are 3 pieces of advice you would give them?
Stay true to who you are. Stay true to who you are. And if R&B music is what you love, do R&B. Don't allow anyone to change you. Don't chase something because you think it's better over there. Stay true to who you are. Try to keep people that you around you that you can trust, which is very hard to do.
Very.
And stay close, stay prayed up, stay prayed up. Keep God first. Yeah, keep God first.
Well, Miss Stephanie Mills, is there anything else that you want your fans to know at home, to look forward to? Anything? This is kind of just your time.
Yes, I have another single coming out August 28th called We
Okay.
Must Change. And I'm really excited about that. We're editing the video right now. But I want you guys to go to my website and buy Let's Do the Right Thing, because it's music coming from my soul to my people and my community. And I really want you to know that I love you.
Well, we all love you too. We all
Thank
do.
you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining the Jasmine brand today.
Thank you for having me.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
anytime, anytime. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, you too.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye.